My key takeaway from this week was that accountability and transparency in the evaluation process are very important to employees. They want to know what is expected of them, how they will be rewarded, who will be judging their performance, and how that judging will occur. In a traditional setting, a lot of this is known as soon as the employee is hired or promoted. The organization says that the person is hired for this specific job, which will be done under this specific manager, who will determine if the job is done correctly. And if the job is done correctly, then the employee will get paid. However, if the job is done better than expected, then the employee will get a bonus of some kind. In a collaborative system, this is much harder to accomplish. The employee may work under many managers, and the managers may not be the only ones who are judging the employee. The company may ask the employee's peers or customers to evaluate the employee's performance, and then they will aggregate all of that information into one big judgment that will help determine if the employee receives a bonus. At Campbell and Balins, the Boston employees were rather happy with the original system of accountability and appraisals. The employees did their jobs, they hit their numbers, and made their regional sales manager happy with their performance, and then they would receive a bonus. But when the New York office decided to change the system, the employees lost the transparency of the old system. Now their accountability wasn't with someone they knew. It rested with people they had probably never even met face to face. The company used confidential questionnaires that were sent only to the employees in the New York building to help determine if the Boston employees would get their bonuses that year. The Boston employees had no idea what the questionnaires asked, or how the New York employees might respond to them. So this made the Boston employees a little angry and resentful of the company. Guide Dogs for the Blind also used a pay-for-performance type of accountability. If a member came to 6 months' worth of meetings, was good with the dogs that they were required to puppy sit for, and filled out all of the necessary paperwork, then they would be allowed to raise a puppy of their own. After they received their puppy, they had to attend at least 50% of the meetings, and have their dogs evaluated by the team leaders. If it was determined that the dog was not progressing correctly, or fast enough, the regional leader would be brought in to evaluate the dog's performance, and to determine if the dog needed a new raiser, or if the dog needed to be removed from the program entirely. However, even if a dog were to fail, a raiser would rarely be removed from the group. Instead, the leaders would determine what caused the dog to fail, and then determine if the raiser would be given another dog quickly, or if the raiser would require more training of their own. If the cause of the failure was biological, there would be no repercussion for the raiser, and they would be given a new puppy if they desired one. The result would be the same for any type of mental disorder the dog showed. Disorders like depression or anxiety could cause a puppy to fail immediately. However, if the dog was failed or taken away for behavioral problems, then there would be a discussion on whether the raiser should be allowed to take another dog at all. If the behavioral problem was because the dog was willful or didn't work well with that particular raiser, the raiser would be allowed another dog. But if it was determined that the issues were because of the raiser's negligence or inability to properly train the dog, the raiser would be asked to attend more meetings and only be allowed to puppy sit until the group leader determined that they were ready to take on another puppy. There were also rewards for raisers that had dogs that passed. If a raiser managed to get 5 dogs in a row to pass, they would be given the opportunity to raise a golden retriever puppy. Golden retriever puppies are not bred as often because of the expense, and as such are rather rare to see. This made it a great honor for a raiser to be given the opportunity to raise a golden puppy. Also, when a puppy graduates the program, both the puppy and the raiser would be recognized at a graduation ceremony held at the main campus.